proud of this team. I'm so proud of these two young women next to me. It was a total team effort. Maine is just, gives you a really, really tough look the way that they are so disciplined offensively. First time having to play Ann Simon and wow, back-to-back games where she really just exploded for points, and today she was really hard to contain. Down the stretch, I thought Ellen and Kayla had to guard her too. Really stepped up big for us defensively, and Adriana Smith, she's just so hard to defend, and they have a great surrounding cast, and they had a terrific season. It's never easy when you lose your best player, and she goes out, you get used to playing with her, then you used to get used to playing without her, then you used to get playing with her. So really just credit Maine in how they came out here and competed on the road. But for us, to score 72 points, to have 4 quarters, shoot 61% from the floor, it was an unbelievable total team effort. Kayla was unstoppable in there, and Ellen coming up big with that big 3, attacking the basket a couple times. But Morgan hit big shots, Fatima. The great thing about this team is that everybody's just so bought into their role, whatever their role is, whether the scout team, and I mentioned it to Rich after the game that, we had a really tough practice the last 2 days with our scout team, really taking it to us and making us frustrated. And I said, this is the time where we're going to learn and get better. But if it wasn't for them really preparing us and preparing, our team to be successful against Maine, it takes everybody buying into their role. And so great to see everybody contribute in what they do so well, and continue to just play unselfishly and for the team. So it was a great team win.
Yeah, how does it feel to be going back to the championship game 2nd year in a row? Ellen, you can start.
It feels great, obviously. That has been our goal this entire year, and we've had our ups and downs, but to get this win against Maine and to go to the championship again is just amazing.
Yeah.
It's great. Just seeing how we were in the beginning of the year, we had so much adversity, and like Ellen said, this has been our goal for the whole time, and just seeing it come true and we're getting our opportunity is really great.
Not just one win away from championship, but one win from getting back to the tournament too and clinching that spot. So just what that would mean to you guys.
I think it would mean a lot. Like I just said, we had so much adversity. A lot of the starters from last year were injured, and me myself coming back from surgery and everything like that, just showing that we're such a resilient team and we're such hard workers, and getting this opportunity, hopefully winning and getting to the tournament would be just great.
Yeah, I agree with that. Just amazing if we could do that. So we put ourselves in a good spot to do it, and it just comes from our hard work throughout the entire season.
Chris?
How did the return of Ann Simon affect your game plan for today?
Well, we were unsure of her availability the last 2 times we played. The first time that we played, she had just been injured in the Binghamton game. We were unsure if she'd be playing. And then she had been out for 8 games when we played at home. So we were thinking, that was kind of her benchmark before when she had her previous ankle injury, thinking that she may be back. So we prepared both times to have her be playing. So I think that really helped us. It's just another person to focus in on. It's another person to have to key in on, and not to mention the returning player and defensive player of the year. So, but I think they're just so balanced, and they have so many threats that the team just was really able to key in on what she needed to do. Obviously, she had a big game today, but we held the other peripheral players at bay.
Main coach talked about you guys shooting over 60% for the entire game. Can you talk about the defensive strategy that you guys employed? Because you had to go on our offense, but you also had to stop them in key moments. So it's for all 3 of you guys.
Yeah. Well, I think especially with Kayla, for example, she's just working so hard in the post and we were able to get her very good looks. And when we have a player like that they can't stop, we just keep feeding that. So I think on offense we were able to find that pretty early on and know that we could just go back to that. And then when they were trying to take away that, we were able to find other looks. Then obviously on defense, we lock it in on personnel, and I think we did a better job of that this game than the last 2 games, of playing tendencies and playing the scout.
This is the second game in a row where a big 3 from you has kind of put the game away. Do you feel like, as a 5th year, do you feel responsibility to step up in those moments? Is it just coincidence that you've been able to make those shots in important moments? What's kind of been going on there?
I try to not think about it like that, like I have to make a shot, or this is a shot I'm gonna make, or whatever. I'm always going into the game knowing that my first focus is defense and rebounding. And so if I get a look, I'll take it, or if I'm open, I'll shoot it. But it always comes down to defense and rebounding, and I'm trying to hang my hat on that, and then the other stuff is sort of bonus. And I think in those moments when I'm open, I'll just shoot it. I don't think really about what type of shot it is or the pressure about it, just let it fly.
I'll brag about her for a second. I think that it's not coincidence. I think when you have a player that is so talented offensively but lets the game come to her, she doesn't take bad shots. That's why she shoots a great percentage. So when you know you're open, she said, when I'm open, I take it. She knows that she's got the green light, but it's about shot selection. It's about knowing what your shot is. We ran a play. It's a play for her. The play first is Kayla touches it, she can drive. The next play is Ellen comes off a stagger, she can shoot, she can drive. She has to make the read, and we practice that play. She knows what her look is. She sees that she's open and she takes it. And this is the second time we had that. She had a big shot against Maine at a really critical time, and certainly at UMass Lowell as well. So, definitely not coincidence.
Tommy?
Kayla, you've had some of your best games this year against Maine. What is it about this matchup that allows you to flourish the way that you do? Is it just that Maine brings out that little extra energy in you, or are you comfortable with some of the matchups you're getting in the post?
I think whenever we play Maine, it's always just a big game. I don't think they're necessarily like our rival or anything like that, but we always know that they're going to bring a certain intensity every time. So we have to match it and then outwork them as much as we can. I think, with Adriana, she's a really good matchup for me. We're kind of the same. But I just know that whatever my teammates trust me to do whatever I need to do, and if I feel that intensity and I feel like I can go, then I'm going to do it, and I know that they trust me to do what I got to do.
Bizarre?
Piggyback off that, for Kayla, I'm sorry. You scored like half of the points that were in the paint. You guys scored 40 points in the paint. You scored half of that. So to kind of, as Coach was complimenting Ellen, I'm going to say the same thing with you. You was kind of doing your thing in the paint. But it wasn't just what you were scoring in the paint. It's what you was doing on the defensive side of the ball. So I'm going to ask you, even though you're going to give me a clear out these answers, I'm going to ask you on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you feel physically? Because that's a lot of minutes to do that on both sides. And then on top of that, how much does adrenaline play a role at some point in the game?
I think it plays a big role. I think, like you said, I was doing a lot on both offense and defensively. So I feel like a little bit towards like the third quarter, a little bit towards the end, I was starting to feel it. But I think once I got myself together and like coach is telling me like you just gotta push, you just gotta dig in, and then that's where the intensity and the adrenaline really started to pick up in me, because I feel like I didn't have time to let up and I couldn't, and my teammates were trusting me. So I feel like that's when it's really started to kick in.
With having such a high shooting percentage, was that what their defense was giving you? Were you guys making shots maybe tougher than you normally would? Were you taking high percentage shots? Kind of what led to such, 61.7% overall is pretty crazy.
Well, I think, the matchup between Kayla and Adriana is always a tough matchup, and they're, like Kayla said, they are very similar, athletic, undersized, really, quick. But I think, again, for the second game in a row, playing them here, their foul trouble really affected them, having to go small. We just tried to pound the ball inside when Addie Smith was out. Borneman got in a little foul trouble. Addie Smith was in foul trouble. Abby Lawrence, I think she might have had 3 fouls in the first half. So we were really just trying to go to the well with making them, have to defend us with not having that much size to match us with Kayla and Helly, and then Lucia coming in off the bench. But, shooting 61%, I don't think we've done that all season. or come close to that. I think we've had a couple games where we shot in the 50s. But just taking high percentage shots, executing our offense side to side, and like there was many times where we just gave up a good shot for a great shot and just showed so much patience and composure, which we knew that was a key to the game.
Those 2 near buzzer beaters that Fatima had after the second quarter and third quarter, how did those help facilitate momentum going into the third and the fourth?
Definitely a lot. She just always comes in clutch. It's amazing to see, and she just brings so much energy with doing that. And I mean, we trust her to have the ball in that situation and take those shots. And I mean, she's making those in practice. She's making crazy shots. So it's just so fun to see her do that in the game as well. And that definitely gives us some momentum going into the next quarter.
Coach, how well do you feel like what you guys endured at the beginning of the season with players taking heightened roles against really good competition? How well do you think that's prepared you for moments like this?
I mean, I think there's always a silver lining, you know, and we took our lumps early and it was really challenging, and Ellen had to step up and carry the team, you know, at times and be like our main offensive kind of go-to player. And then with the return of Kayla and Helly, you know, really just having to take, you know, a different role. But I think just everybody's ability to get that experience, including the players that didn't even play today that were at one point starting in the beginning of the year. I mean, Tanaya Hanner, she's repeatedly doing an amazing job in practice. Abby Ray, both of those players started in the beginning of the year games. So I just think that, you know, you always had to say, like, we just have to keep digging in and we just have to keep chipping away. The season is long, but it was about growing. It was about getting better so that we could peak and we could gel and hopefully stay healthy enough to get to this point. And a big part is not just even about gelling, it's about who's the healthiest and who's able to, you know, have their horses and have their legs to be able to get to the championship game. But, you know, all of this adversity has driven them. They've used it to fuel them. They've used it to push them to get to this point. And I couldn't be more proud of what they've endured and where they're at right now. They deserve this.
Coach, how about Fatima with the 2 shots at the buzzer and just big shots in general off the bench?
I mean, she's just like, I mean, she's a crowd favorite. I mean, everybody's chanting Fatima Lee. I mean, like, she's just, you know, and what she brings to this team is so unique in the locker room. You know, we always have, it was quite the show before the game today. It was my fan favorite today. But she just invigorates players, and she would do that when she wouldn't even see any time on the floor. And that just says so much about her, you know, coming in and having a specific role that she's really, it may not have been the role that she wanted. It may not have been, you know, the role that she wanted to have or wants to have, you know, coming in off the bench or, you know, but she's embraced it and she does the best that she can. And when you have a player that can just get a shot off contested, I mean, like, the girl she shoots better contested than she does when she's open. So, you know, just putting the ball in her hands, letting her make a decision, and really just lifting everybody up with that energy and enthusiasm that she is contagious to everybody.
Do you guys feel like you're playing your best basketball right now, like you're peaking? Or do you not? Yeah, you don't want to jinx it?
Yeah, I don't want to jinx it, but I think
We're on the climb.
We're really we just don't want it to end. You know, with Ellen being her 5th year and Lucia and our seniors, you know, we're really playing for them. And these last couple of years with COVID and everything, and just playing with Ellen has been the best. She's such a good teammate, and she's just always doing the little things. And we just want to play with each other, continue to do that, and play for each other, so we can continue for this whole thing not to end.
I just want to ask how long you guys are going to enjoy this before you jump to Vermont?
Well,
They get the day off tomorrow.
yeah.
Congratulations.
Thanks. Yeah, so just getting some rest, but I mean, I think it's important for us to also bring this to our Vermont game, just bringing the energy and the way that I just feel like we've all taken a step from our last couple of games. I feel like every game we're just getting better, and of course we still have things to work on, but I think we have a momentum going with us right now that we just have to bring it with us.
Real quick, knowing how bad especially you and Cooper, how eager you two willing to get up there to Vermont and go play. on Friday?
We're really excited. You know, we've been here before. You know, we were there last year. You know, we're on the road for the championship last year, and we didn't like how the last game ended with Vermont. We definitely felt like there was things that we could do and that we could do better. So I feel like we're going to go back to the drawing board, get better in practice, and get ready to go up there.
What are some major roadblocks or challenges that you're looking to prepare for Vermont?
I think, you know, obviously Vermont is a terrific team. They're riding a very strong winning streak right now. So they have a lot of momentum on their side, but as do we. I think the most important thing is that we make sure that we're having fresh legs. And, you know, again, me being the coach, trying to get more in and do more things. It's not the answer. Right now it's less is more, because the players know what to do. They know, they're prepared, they can trust their preparation. So making sure, number one, that they feel rested, fresh, but prepared. And then we go out and we execute a game plan and we play for 40 minutes. We played for 40 minutes today, and it's going to take a 40-minute defensive effort and executing a game plan against a really talented team on their home floor.
Anyone else? Thank you.
Great,
Thank you.
thanks, guys. Congratulations, guys. Great job.